History is filled with stories of lost treasure, but few are as fascinating as the legend of the Flor de la Mar. In the early 16th century, this Portuguese ship carried one of the greatest fortunes ever assembled during the age of exploration. Gold, jewels, royal treasures, and priceless artifacts were loaded onto the vessel after the conquest of a powerful trading empire. But before the ship could deliver its riches to Europe, disaster struck. A violent storm shattered the vessel and sent its treasure to the bottom of the sea. Today, more than 500 years later, historians and treasure hunters believe that billions of dollars in lost treasure may still lie hidden beneath the waters of Southeast Asia. At the beginning of the 1500s, Portugal had become one of the most powerful maritime nations in the world. Portuguese explorers had discovered sea routes that connected Europe directly to the rich trading networks of Asia. These routes brought enormous wealth through the trade of spices, silk, precious metals, and exotic goods. To control these lucrative trade routes, Portugal established a series of strategic colonies and ports across the Indian Ocean and Southeast Asia. Among the most valuable targets was the powerful trading city of Malacca, located in what is now modern-day Malaysia. Malacca was the gateway to the spice trade, and one of the richest ports in the world. Whoever controlled Malacca could influence commerce across Asia. In 1511, Portuguese commander Afonso de Albuquerque launched a military campaign to capture the city. His goal was clear: control the spice trade and secure Portuguese dominance in the region. The battle for Malacca was intense. Portuguese forces fought against the Sultan of Malacca and his defenders, eventually capturing the city after weeks of conflict. When the Portuguese entered the royal palace and treasury, they discovered enormous wealth. Historical records describe rooms filled with gold ornaments, jewelry, silver coins, precious stones, and luxury goods gathered from trade across Asia. The Portuguese quickly seized the treasure, planning to transport it back to their empire. To carry this wealth, they chose a large and heavily armed ship known as the Flor de la Mar, which translates to flower of the sea. The Flor de la Mar was already a legendary ship by the time of the Malacca conquest. Built around the year 1502, it had served Portugal for nearly a decade and had traveled across vast oceans carrying soldiers, supplies, and treasure. However, by 1511, the ship was already old and damaged from years of service. Some officers warned that it might not be strong enough for another long voyage. Despite these concerns, the decision was made to load the treasure onto the vessel. The Flor de la Mar was filled with gold, jewels, royal artifacts, and valuable goods seized from Malacca. The ship also carried important Portuguese officials and soldiers. The total value of the treasure has never been fully documented, but many historians believe it could equal billions of dollars in modern value. In late 1511, the Flor de la Mar departed Malacca to continue its journey across the sea. But shortly after leaving port, the ship encountered powerful storms in the Strait of Malacca, one of the busiest and most dangerous waterways in the world. Strong winds and violent waves battered the aging vessel. The ship struggled to stay afloat as water rushed onto the deck. Eventually, the Flor de la Mar struck a reef or shallow rocks. The damaged hull could not withstand the pressure of the storm. The ship broke apart and sank. Many of the crew members survived and reached the shore, but the treasure remained trapped beneath the sea. When the Flor de la Mar sank, it took with it an unimaginable fortune. Gold ornaments from Southeast Asian kingdoms, royal jewels, silver coins, ceremonial artifacts, and valuable trade goods were all lost in the wreck. For centuries, the exact location of the shipwreck remained uncertain. Some historical accounts suggest it sank near the coast of Sumatra, while others believe it lies somewhere within the Malacca Strait. The waters in this region are deep, muddy, and constantly shifting due to strong currents. These conditions make underwater exploration extremely difficult. Even with modern technology, locating the wreck has proven to be a major challenge. Over the years, numerous explorers and treasure hunters have attempted to find the Flor de la Mar. Some expeditions have used sonar scans, underwater robots, and deep-sea diving equipment to search the ocean floor. However, the Malacca Strait is one of the busiest shipping lanes in the world. Constant ship traffic, strong currents, and thick sediment have made the search extremely complicated. Several teams have claimed they may have discovered clues to the shipwreck, but no expedition has successfully recovered the legendary treasure. The mystery continues to attract historians, archaeologists, and adventurers who hope to uncover the lost fortune. There are several reasons why the Flor de la Mar treasure has remained undiscovered for over 5 centuries. First, the exact location of the shipwreck was never clearly recorded. Historical documents from the time offer only vague descriptions of where the ship sank. Second, the ocean floor in the Malacca Strait is covered with layers of sediment that can easily bury a shipwreck over time. Finally, the region has experienced centuries of maritime activity, storms, and environmental changes that may have scattered the remains of the ship across a wide area. Because of these challenges, the Flor de la Mar remains one of the greatest lost treasures in maritime history. The story of the Flor de la Mar is more than just a tale of lost gold. It represents the dramatic era of exploration when empires fought for control of trade routes and wealth across the oceans. The ship carried not only treasure, but also the ambitions of a growing empire. Its sinking turned what was meant to be a triumphant return into one of history's greatest maritime disasters. Even after 500 years, the idea that billions of dollars in treasure may still lie hidden beneath the sea continues to capture the imagination of people around the world. Today, the waters of Southeast Asia still guard the secret of the Flor de la Mar. Somewhere beneath the shifting sands and deep currents, the remains of the ship may still rest, surrounded by gold and artifacts lost centuries ago. Until the wreck is finally discovered, the legend of the Flor de la Mar will remain one of the greatest treasure mysteries ever told. And if you enjoy uncovering the world's greatest hidden fortunes, follow Hidden Gold Files as we continue exploring history's greatest lost treasures. Follow Hidden Gold Files as we continue exploring history's greatest lost treasures.